The time winds down. They did it. It's over. The game is over. The series is over. The wait is over.
Yeah, drinking dope, turn me to a superhero. Yeah, hit that pill, turn me to a superhero.
All right, so we are finally in the games of the year, possibly conference championships. But before that, we got to go over our divisional round picks. So this week I went 3-1. There was the one game, the Giants game, that really screwed me over, and I think it did KP. But me and KP both did pretty well. I believe we both went 3-1. But with that being said, let's go over the divisional games real quick. So the first game we're going to go with was the 3:30 p.m. game. Both the game that me and KP attended. There will be a video going up of how our experience went at that game, so be sure to check that out soon. But that game, Chiefs 27-20. Cannon, this was kind of a little bit of a weird game. Mahomes, a lot of you know, Mahomes came out with an high ankle sprain. He just got cleared by the doctors today to get back into practice and everything. But KP, what do you think of this game? I mean, it was kind of an odd game, and there were some chances where Jacksonville had opportunities to be very much in this game with my Chiefs, but they just couldn't do it. So, what do you think on that one?
I think they should have given ETN the ball more. He averaged 6.5 yards per carry. Kansas City really couldn't stop him. No one's really run defense was really good that game.
No.
I don't think. And I don't know. A lot of calls didn't really go Jacksonville's way. Mahomes got a roughing the passer call, and then Chris Jones had a late hit on Trevor Lawrence that they didn't get that would have given a new down. But, I mean, one call can't really determine the whole game. But that was a big call, I think, that was missed. Jamal Agnew, the fumble that screwed them in the red zone.
Love it.
Yeah, so I mean, those are two drives that could have won them the game. I think Jacksonville played way better than I guess a lot of people thought they were going to. I'm just glad it was. I'm glad it was a close game. I'm glad we didn't go there just to see a blowout, though.
Yeah, the one drive that I think that really changes everything was the one deep shot to Christian Kirk that he so should have caught. I mean, it was a good ball by Lawrence. I mean, you can't really throw it any better, really. I thought it was a great ball.
It was a good ball, but I mean, it was just out of Kirk's reach. I mean,
yeah, and the weather conditions weren't really adding up for it, but it was just
if he's a top 5 receiver, like you said at the beginning of us starting our podcast, you make that catch. So
yeah, I still think he had a great performance, even though he got banged up a few times. He had to come out, but he came back. I'm just glad, as a Chiefs fan, even though I'm just glad it was kind of a game, it was a good game to watch, great game to attend, and so, but...
He had a good wide-open catch for a touchdown, that was it. He didn't do anything special.
Yeah, but, I think Lawrence, he didn't have a bad game either, the one interception, but to be fair, he was getting pressure in his face, and Jalen Watson just made a hell of an interception on that play. I didn't think Lawrence had a bad day, but I think there was some opportunities where the Jags could have, really punched it in, but they just weren't able to. But moving on from the Jags-Chiefs game, we move on to the next game, which, folks, this wasn't really even a game to watch. I mean, the Eagles, 38-7, me and KP, we want to apologize for our picks with the Giants. KP, did you pick the Giants? I cannot remember.
Never picking them again.
Never picking them again, neither am I. Well, that was not even really a fair game, in my opinion. 38-7. Hurts shows why he was and should be still an MVP favorite, in my opinion, even though I got Mahomes winning MVP. But after that game, safe to say the Eagles going to be very hard for 49ers, in my opinion, to beat. But 38-7. Hurts was 16 for 24. He only passed for 154, 2 touchdowns. But, he got the job done. He rushed for 9 carries, 34 yards. But
he had 3.
Kenneth Gainwell. Kenneth Gainwell, out of nowhere, 12 carries, 112 yards, and a touchdown. They have rushing touchdowns all over the place. Hurts had one. Boston Scott had one. Kenneth Gainwell had one. And then we got a mix of touchdowns. Goddard with a receiving touchdown and Devonta Smith with a receiving touchdown. Really, offensively for the Giants, can't really say much. Daniel Jones, 15 for 27 with an interception. And then Saquon, not much of a show. 9 carries for 61 yards. The only touchdown was a Matt Breida rushing touchdown. Cannon, after this game, NFC, it's going to be a very interesting NFC championship.
Did you say not that much from Barkley?
I said not that much of a show from Barkley.
I mean, he didn't get touches.
Nope.
So he played. I thought he played good for what he could do.
For what he could do, yeah. 9 carries, 61 yards.
That's almost 7 yards a carry.
Yeah, 6.8 here I'm looking at right now.
Which is crazy. But, I mean, they're playing down the whole game, so they had to throw. So I mean,
how many turnovers did the Giants have?
3 or 2. I know Daniel Jones had a pick. He had a fumble. I want to say that's all he had.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, their coach even openly admitted it after the game. It was just, they got their asses kicked. So, the Eagles, they're looking strong. Gonna be I'd say, an interesting NFC championship. But, I don't got much left for that game. You got anything left for the Giants game? I mean, really, it was just all hands Eagles.
Yeah, I don't know. I wish it was better because all the other divisional rival games in the playoff game were actually watchable, but that wasn't watchable. So
very, very true. All right, moving on. The underdogs, no, they are claiming to be the big dogs in the AFC, which is very arguable. Cincinnati comes into Orchard Park, and they absolutely shred up the Buffalo Bills, 27-10. Burrow, he starts off hot. He goes down to, I believe it was first drive. They get the ball, Jamar Chase touchdown. They make a statement first drive, but his final total odds, 23 for 36, passes for 242, 2 touchdowns. Joe Mixon, he had quite a day, 20 carries, 105 yards, 1 touchdown. He did have some very important runs for first down, especially that last drive. He was just making sure the Bills knew who the big dogs were. I think after that game, it's clearly, in my opinion, obvious. It's Mahomes and Burrow as the 1 and 2 quarterbacks in the league. Now, obviously, Allen had a very rough game. I'm not going to diss on him or anything. But after that game, you got to question, what's he doing? I mean, every single ball I got here on 3rd and 2, deep shot, 3rd and 4, deep shot, 3rd and 7, deep shot, 3rd and 10, deep shot, 3rd and 8, fumble. It's just, Burrow was able to, smart plays, took what the defense gave him. Allen, not so much.
Well, the only reason Burrow could do that because Burrow had to lead the whole game. Allen has to take a shot, the shots to get his team back. What was the final score? 27 what?
27-10.
Yeah, they're down. They lost by 3 possessions. I think going in the fourth quarter they're down 17. You can't just ask him to throw a check down every single time. I'm surprised he only threw 1 pick.
Yeah, I'm surprised he had run it a few times.
He had to throw it so many times. Like, he threw 42 times. He had to throw it so many times, and you have to get a deep shot because you have to score points. So, I mean...
Attempt to score points, yeah.
He can't... I mean, I don't know. The Bengals' defense, I think, was great that game.
They just... And it's funny. It's because it's vice versa. I thought the Bills would just hammer and pound these rookie linemen for the Bengals. But no, to me, it was vice versa. It was the Bengals were just blowing the Bills' offensive linemen.
The Bills' secondary and Bills' defense has been so hurt. And
very, that's true. Von Miller, he was out. I questioned if he would have been a big deal in the game. I very much so.
They lost Tre'Davious White and Poyer.
Did they both get hurt on that same play where they banged heads? They both come out at the same time?
They both went into concussion protocol on that. So
okay,
after that, they were kind of... I mean, they were already down 10, but...
It just makes me wonder, Buffalo, 5 years in a row playoff appearance, 2 years in a row divisional round exits. It makes me wonder, is there time as the big dogs coming to an end? I don't think so, but, it makes me wonder. They're over their cap space right now. They're going to have to, obviously look at what they've done, see what they do. But I just think that from now on, it should, they're overhyped. Preseason, it should not be a thing. I just think it's ridiculous, and
they showed in the regular season why they should have the hype. They just injuries came into play. I knew they weren't going to have a deep run if they had all these injuries and all their star players and starters on defense getting hurt. So you can only do so much. So I mean, they made it to the playoffs again. So I mean, that's a good for them. But
yeah.
Not every team can say that, obviously.
Obviously, yeah. But it just makes me question, But we'll just find out down the road what the Bills are going to do next. But the final game, very defensive game, in my opinion. 19-12, 49ers win. Purdy, first year. He joins a few other quarterbacks in NFL history to bring their team to the conference championship their first year. Purdy, he didn't have a bad day. I mean, he had some nice stuff. He was 19 for 29, 214.
He didn't do anything out of ordinary.
Yeah, he just no turnovers, which gotta love. Meanwhile, on the other hand, Dak.
That's the name of Purdy's game, is to not turn the ball over and have his defense give him good field position. That's all the Niners do, and they do it.
Well, meanwhile, on the other hand, Dak, not so much. 2 interceptions. He was rough day for him. Their offense, a few times they had a little bit of stuff going, but then the rest, it was just really shut down. The 49ers did a very good job of limiting Dak. Not much from the run game. Zeke, 10 carries, 26 yards. Pollard obviously came out with, I believe it was an ankle injury in the third.
Broken fibula.
Okay. Broken fibula in the third quarter, correct? Third quarter? Yep. And CeeDee Lamb, he had a pretty good day. 10 receptions for 117 yards. No touchdowns. The only receiving touchdown was Dalton Schultz. So, Dak, he had a great game against Tampa Bay, but obviously Tampa Bay is nowhere on the level of the 49ers, and it makes me wonder, does Dallas need to pick up the phone, start looking for some, options, to come in and start learning the new QB spot in Dallas, keep Dak, but figure out some stuff? I wonder, $40 million QB, he's just... He has the same amount of playoff wins as Brock Purdy, folks. So something to take into consideration there. But the 49ers, they're going to go be taking on the Eagles in the NFC Championship game. They're going to Philadelphia. So it'll be a big test for Brock Purdy, see if he can bring some more magic, have a shot in Philly. We don't know. But that is the divisional round game. So we are to what we all have wanted. The AFC and the NFC Championship, the conference games. So, Cannon, you deserve to go first. So, we're going to start. Let's start with the NFC. So, Cannon, Eagles, 49ers. Who you got? Niners. All right. And then we move on to the AFC. I think I know the answer to this one, but let me hear it.
Bengals. It's easy.
Yep. Do it. Easy. All right. Easy pick for you. All right. So, I'm going to start with the NFC. I'm going with the 49ers. It's just, I've been hearing a lot of things, been seeing a lot of things, and I just feel like Philadelphia is going to have a rude awakening when this 49er team comes. Very hot team. I think this is 13 wins in a row. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Pretty damn close to it.
Yeah, somewhere around that area, but they're hot. The Eagles had a good game, but I think this is going to be an eye-opener for them. And then, AFC Championship. Chiefs hosting it for the 5th year in a row, home field advantage. They're the only team to host 5 in a row. The Patriots have, though, been to 8 straight AFC Championships, but the Chiefs are the first to do it. With Mahomes' injury, and, today Andy Reid said he's good to go. They're going to start, training him up, getting him going, making sure he's all right to play. They said he'll play. I figured after losing to a team 3 times in a row, you've learned mostly what they're capable of doing, what their threats are, how dominant they are. I feel like as a coach, Andy Reid, you'd want to take this into consideration, learn from it, and, I'd finally take advantage of the home field advantage against them. I've got the smallest win for the Chiefs. I think it's going to be the closest damn game ever, pretty much like the AFC Championship game last year. I got my Chiefs winning this, getting back to the Super Bowl against the 49ers, rematch of the 2020 Super Bowl. So that is my predictions for our conference games. And you guys, go ahead down below, drop your conference game predictions. Let's hear them. Let's hear those opinions down in the comments But with that being said, that is the divisional round games. That is our conference picks, our beliefs, our thoughts. And with that being said, KP, you got anything else to touch up on? I mean, we've had a hell of a playoff run here.
We are both 37-19 going into
the
championships. So it is bound to be different after this week. I can't wait to hear the Chiefs lose, and then Kellen's excuse will be Mahomes' ankle and everything that goes with that. But that's all that I have for this week. Until next video, boys, it's KP and KT. We out here. Peace.
Peace.
Really didn't. My soul cold. Double backwards.